Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. It's time for another Two for Tuesday. Two for Tuesday is an open tag that I invite all channels to participate in. Just grab a couple of knives and talk about them. Now, I will say this open tag is kind of geared for newer channels. Here's an opportunity to, well, as a new channel, sometimes you worry about running out of knives to review, right? So here's a chance to take a couple of knives that maybe you've already reviewed before, but compare them or just talk about them in a different aspect. So, yeah, jump on the open tag. Feel free. It's a great way to present your knives in a little different manner. Well, for today, Two for Tuesday, we're going to talk about Wenger knives. And my wonderful aunt, who's always thinking of me, recently gave me this Backpacker II. And we'll be taking a closer look at this one, the Wenger Backpacker II. And I'm going to be showing it against the SwissBuck Odessey. And the SwissBuck was a collaboration between Wenger and Buck Knives back in the 1990s. I learned something surprising about these two knives that something I'd forgot about on the Odessey, and it was kind of a surprise. So I'll stop jabbering and let's get to the review right now. Let's take a look at a couple of really great Wenger knives. On the left here, we have the Backpacker II, and as the name implies, it's a second rendition of the Backpacker. And on the right, we have a SwissBuck, and we'll talk more about the SwissBuck here in just a moment. So the original Backpacker came out, and I'll point out a couple differences right away. On the Backpacker II, it has an actual image of a backpacker on the cover there. Isn't that cool? But what distinguished the Backpacker from the other Wenger knives, from what I can tell, is that it has a saw to it. And the other difference between the Backpacker 1 and 2 is that on the Backpacker it had a nail file, and on the Backpacker 2 we have a secondary blade, almost like a little pen blade, although it is a clip point style blade. I haven't cleaned this knife up any. As you can see, it looks like we've got a little bit of damage to the cover here. Looks like somebody laid it on something hot, perhaps. And I've noticed on the Wenger knives, they tend to have the clip point blades instead of the spear point that you find on the Victorinox. Now there's several other different models to the Backpacker II. We have the Alpine Backpacker, which had a locking blade, the Backpacker Serrated, which had the serrated blade and a Phillips screwdriver instead of a corkscrew, and the Traveler had scissors instead of a saw, and the Delamont Evo, or the Evo Grip 13, it was contoured, and the Backpacker II is very similar to the Victorinox Camper. So, opening up the knife here, once again, got our main blade, spear point. We have our can opener here. That's what that looks like. It is sharpened right there. Again, the small pen blade, or the smaller clip point secondary blade. And then your cap lifter, screwdriver, and wire stripper. And I'll close those up to get them out of the way. And we'll take a look at this saw again. And there is your saw blade. Pretty cool. And these are both 85 millimeters. Then we look back here. Got your punch or awl. And the famous corkscrew. And I think that's all we have. Take a look at that. Yep, I believe that's all we have for that. And of course the chain. And there's a toothpick here. It looks like it's kind of broke off. Oh, there it is. It's in kind of bad shape. And it looks like it's missing the tweezers to it. So I don't even know where my aunt got this. Maybe she picked it up at a yard sale or something like that, thrift shop. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. It does need cleaned up a bit, don't it? But hey, what a welcome addition to my collection. Now on the right, we've got the SwissBuck. And this was kind of my first introduction to Wenger because I didn't even know that there was such a thing as a SwissBuck. I was in an antique store and I saw a buck on here and started looking at it. I bought it. It's in nearly mint condition. I mean, it's very good condition. Got an extremely good price on it. But this is the SwissBuck Odessey. Now, Wenger and Buck collaborated in the 1990s, and they produced a lot of different models. I'll let you read those models there if you want to look up and learn more about the SwissBucks. But the idea behind it was Wenger was trying to get a bigger market share or market access here in the U.S., and Buck wanted a little more access over in Europe, so they decided to collaborate together. So that's how we come up with the SwissBuck. So again, the main blade here, clip point instead of a spear point. And there's our tang stamp there. And we'll get the other blades opened up here. Of course, you got your cap lifter, screwdriver, wire stripper. Looks like we've got a patent, a can opener. Okay. And what else we got up here? Did I get them all? Oh no. Well, looky there. We got a saw on it also. Got the saw on the SwissBuck, on the Odessey. And on the back side here, again, there's your punch. It is a little bit oily because I had soaked it in oil and put it up wet. And what else we got here? And the corkscrew. Well, this is what happens when you break knives out and give them another look. Because as I was putting this together, I had forgotten that the Odessey here, the SwissBuck Odessey, had a saw blade on it too. So look at what we got here. The SwissBuck Odessey is basically, looks like to me, like a Backpacker II. Got all the identical blades. Corkscrew, yep. The only difference I can see is in the Backpacker II, it's got a little nail nick in the edge of the blade there. Ah! Isn't that something? Wow. That's pretty cool, isn't it, folks? All right, now, and then this one says patent, and this one here says EP patent. So, a couple little differences. And this one has the same tang stamp, I think. Wenger Delmont, Switzerland stainless. On the reverse side, it's got Wenger. And this one doesn't have Wenger on the back, but it's obviously the Buck sticker there. But that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, there you have it, folks. A couple of great Wenger knives. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And until next time, have a very delightful day.